I want to go to St. Petersburg and talk to Jonathan Petramala, who is a storm chaser who has been, of course, watching Milton and following Milton. Jonathan, thanks for being with me. Let's just first start with what it's like there now as we're hearing these reports of flooding in Tampa Bay. What are you seeing?
Hey, good morning. Yeah, the flash flooding, fortunately, has receded as the rain has stopped falling here in St. Petersburg. But to just get into St. Petersburg was a challenge. The bridges have been closed now for several hours since early yesterday afternoon, and that's the main access, right, to get in from the south or from the east as well. And so we had to go the long way around, and it was a maze of flooded streets around Tampa. Really deep water. We had numerous cars stalled out in that deep water as well. And unfortunately, signs that showed the water getting into some neighborhoods as well. So it wasn't necessarily the storm surge here in Tampa Bay, but it was that freshwater flooding. And the tides were just high enough, as your meteorologist mentioned, there was just nowhere for the water to go. So it just went up into people's homes and the neighborhoods and on roadways as well. So that added to the challenge of the hurricane for the Tampa Bay area at least. But the brighter side of that, again, is because the storm did make landfall south of the Tampa Bay area, the catastrophic predictions of storm surge that could reach 15 or 20 feet did not occur here in the area, which is great.
Yeah. Our colleague Bill Weir has been reporting on the damage to Tropicana Field. Of course, we've shown that roof that was just shredded and blown off. Erica talked about it at the top of the show. We've got drone video that you shot of the stadium. Tell us what you saw, what you shot as you described your video.
And again, I live in St. Petersburg, so this is just a few minutes from my house. To see Tropicana Field like that, and anyone you're going to speak to around the town, it's surreal to see the roof shredded like that. I was able to actually get my hands on a piece of that roof to kind of feel the material, and it feels just thick vinyl, like you'd one of those blow-up pool materials. And you could see it just had no chance against those winds of Hurricane Milton. And what was fascinating and also disturbing, they had about 10,000 cots and beds sitting in the outfield. So those shots, you could look down and you could see those cots sitting there. Those were for first responders that they were going to have come in, and that's where they were going to stay as they help the area recover. Of course, now plans have to change. That obviously cannot be a place where first responders are going to be able to stay, as the dome of Tropicana Field is now completely exposed to the elements.
Yeah, we've been seeing the drone footage of just the torn roof there, and you make a good point about what this stadium was supposed to be. It was supposed to offer this respite, this place for rest for the first responders as they respond to others who call in for help from Hurricane Milton. We also had the report of the crane that came down in St. Petersburg as well. What do you know about damage beyond these two that we know? Of course, the first responders are working to get out as soon as the wind dies down. On that coast, I'm sure the wind has died down. But what do you know about the damage in neighborhoods, in communities beyond downtown?
Sorry about that. Yeah, you broke up a little bit. I heard you talk about the crane. We just had our eyes on that as well. Ironically, it crashed into the Tampa Bay Times building. So they broke their own story there. Unfortunately, it doesn't appear anybody was hurt, which is the best part about that. A lot of cranes in St. Petersburg up and about because there's a massive amount of growth now up. And that was the only one that appears to have collapsed under the fierce winds of Hurricane Milton. Otherwise, what you're looking at in terms of damage to awnings, damage to garages, rooftops, mostly tree damage. That's really what we're seeing as we're driving around St. Petersburg. I actually just pulled up to my house for the first time since the storm. And when I left yesterday, I didn't really know what I'd be coming home to. And it appears my trees are still standing. There's some big branches down. But I don't know. I don't see any signs of major damage at my house. So it's kind of surreal to be reporting on your neighbors and your community, and then also in the back of your mind always is, what's happening at your place. But you have to just kind of set that aside, and that's why it's just I just took a big, deeper, a big breath of relief on the phone with you.
Yeah, I feel you, Jonathan. I lived and worked in North and South Florida for several years, and I understand that sensation of reporting on others in a storm and wondering how your own home is. But I'm glad that your home fared well. And as it relates to the trees down, we've got now more than 3 million customers across the state. Those trees have taken down power lines, those 3 million customers without power. So that, of course, will be the narrative in the aftermath of Hurricane Milton. Jonathan Petramala, a storm chaser who is in St. Petersburg, bringing us video, bringing us reports of damage, reporting on his own home and own neighborhood there as well. Thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you.
All right, Isabel Rosales is with us as well now. She is in Tampa. Isabel, good morning to you. Tell us what you're seeing, the situation there.
Hey, good morning to you, Victor. So around 11:15 p.m. last night, Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office had to suspend service due to just the unsafe situation out there for first responders, the high winds, all of that heavy rainfall. But this is a completely different story, even today, right before daylight breaks. I've seen HCSO deputies actively working out there. They've resumed full-fledged services, so many ambulances going by. I've seen deputies checking in on flooded cars with the flashlight, making sure that there's nobody in need of help. And now we're getting reports of people stuck at a hotel at the Holiday Inn off I-4 in Plant City. That's in the eastern side of the county. This is a very agricultural community, migrant-heavy, Latino-populated community. And again, people stuck at this hotel, unable to get out due to the high flood waters. We know that Plant City had to call HCSO for help just because they don't have the correct resources to be able to do these high water rescues. And Victor, I actually have with me in the car right now Sheriff Chad Chronister, who has just pulled up on location here. Sheriff, thank you so much for joining us on this phone interview, sir. What else can you tell us?
Good morning. We have just under 6,000 people without power and out and about. It is flooded. We're not used to seeing the high and dry areas like Plant City, the eastern portions of the county, this much underwater. There are a lot of down power lines. There are a lot of down trees. It is very unsafe out here right now.
And what do we know about this situation at the Holiday Inn? I know that you're about to use a SHRP amphibious vehicle to get access to these people.
Yes, we were called, asked for additional resources. So our amphibious vehicle, the SHRP, we don't know how many people are staying at the hotel. We just know that we have to go rescue them. So we're on the way right now to try to make sure we can get them to higher ground and to a safer environment.
And how would you assess the urgency this morning to get out and how many calls you're getting for rescues?
We're getting a lot of calls. We're getting a lot of calls, down power lines, a lot of flooding in areas that never had flooding. And so we had to suspend service for a little bit, getting close to 97-mile-per-hour winds. But again, we're back in action now, and we're going to get to them as quick as we can.
And clearly the priorities are on people in need of help in these rescue situations. Sheriff, I don't know if you've been briefed, but I was hearing here with your colonel in the car on the way out here about an assisted living facility at the north end of the county. Reports of 100 patients trapped there. We know that resources are going that way. That's on North 17th Street. And of course, when you're dealing with a medical situation, there's an added level of complexity there. What do you know about that situation?
Yeah, there is. And we know they're in a fragile state. So that certainly takes priority. We're there. Our airboat's there. We'll work with County Fire, who also have 4 SHRPs, and that hold 10 people at a time, and we'll get them out and, again, get them to a more safer environment, get them the medical attention that they need as quick as we can now.
And how would you assess, Sheriff, how long this is going to take of a process to get on the other side of this hurricane?
Yeah, this isn't going to be the, hey, listen, relax for a day and then we're all going to dinner on a Friday night. This is going to take some time to heal and recover. This is going to take some time to even get those who are in positions where they don't want to be. Again, this assisted living facility is not in a flood zone. They're not in an evacuation zone. They never thought in a million years they would have this kind of water. So now they're in too deep. We need to focus on those people first, getting them the drier land, getting them the medical attention they need. Then we'll worry about opening up roadways and some of those ancillary problems that trying to get people back to some type of sense of normalcy.